hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parr, editor-in-chief of Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. Today is our Financial Friday. We have one of our amazing contributing writers. You haven't seen him in a while. He's been with us for a very long time, but you haven't seen him, so let me just bring him on in. Oh,
Hey,
hey,
Tiffany.
Jeffrey. Oh, my goodness. We got Dr. Jeffrey in the house. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to take center stage with you today. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's
Absolutely.
great to be back. It has been a while.
It has. So, just for those that do not know you, please introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, a little bit about what you do, and where you're from as well.
Absolutely. So I'm Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger. I received my honorary doctorate in September of 2024 that I'm truly humbled about. I am the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness. From here, as you can see, where I believe we all should be living a life of abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And for about 4.5 years, I was a holistic health coach focusing on the microbiome, the gut, brain, heart access health. And everyone's number one complaint was finances. And I totally related. So today, as a certified holistic coach, I'm taking a finance first approach to embracing new ways to true wealth in the modern world so we can encompass an overall well-being through those different modalities that I just mentioned.
And it runs all hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the money to be able to, get yourself good supplements, eat well, if you don't have the
Yeah,
mindset, it's all going to fall apart. So I
exactly.
love how you really just kind of bridge that gap, and brought it all together, in this last couple of years, because I watched you with that shift as well, right? And
Yeah.
just amazing. So tell us, let's talk a little bit about this. What really, got you? I know you said that, a lot of people asking questions, financial questions, things like that. But what was really that pivotal moment that really got you into financial wellness?
Yeah. So me personally, I experienced financial devastation between 9/11 and 2008. With the real estate crash, my portfolio took a massive dive with over $900,000 loss. And then in 2021, 2022, 401ks were turning into 101ks and one flatlined. And that was really the straw that broke the camel's back because I was trying to, get some of the money back from 2008 into, up into the 20s. But it was a very slow progression. And, it was a roller coaster for many people out there. And depending on the financial planner that you have as well, what is their expertise in the market, so forth and so on. So that is when I went to my financial planner and said, hey, dude, this ain't working for me. So we basically pulled everything out and diversified it into multiple projects, which I have over here and this one here, and started to learn about the new blockchain technologies out there that have already started to really change the world. And I go back to being an ex-software engineer in 2009 when I was approached with the opportunity of purchasing 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. That's an 85-cent investment. And my response was, nah, sounds like a scam. So, and we know today, for those that are that know about this, that Bitcoin has been valued at over $100,000 per coin. So I probably wouldn't be here today. I'd probably be on a beach eating bonbons. So in 2017 I started to get a little bit more educated because I left corporate America as a software engineer in 2015. I wanted nothing to do with that industry because I was totally burnt out from it. However, the little birdies were just sprinkling, little nuggets over my bald head here. And I started to just become more aware And then in 2022, 2021 to 2022 is when um, made major switch and really jumped in with it from that final devastation. So yeah, so that was really the catalyst, and I understood because you, as we were talking, off screen before we started here, is as a holistic coach, and my students were complaining about finances and working paycheck to paycheck or working two and three and four jobs.
Mhm.
The systems that we're in are created for those who develop them. They're living high off the hog while the masses are in those systems and they're still struggling
Right.
week to week, paycheck to paycheck, two, three, four jobs. And it's like this isn't working. And that's why decentralization was really formed, giving more control to the people to for their for the betterment of humanity.
Right.
And that's the beauty that I found from it. And it's a daily, constant learning. And in the beginning, I stressed out from learning because I was so far behind. But then I just took a step back and said, "Look, at one day at a time. Just
Mhm.
take it, learn it, and one or two or three nuggets a day." And over the last couple of years, yeah, I've come a long way from the very beginning, and I still have a long way to go. So, but yeah, it's devastating for people. And we look at the industries that are out there. I talk about the food, and the medical system, because that's what got me into this whole paradigm shift, leaving um, Western medicine and coming off of five medications and being pharmaceutical free since August of 2019. So that's all part of that journey.
Yes, yes. And it really is, it's a crazy journey, right? And
Yeah.
when you, the one thing that really, I mean, so many things just hit me right now, but something huge just hit me when you're talking about people having to work three and four jobs. And then you wonder why there's so many people sick in our society today.
Yeah.
They're sick because they're burnt the hell out,
Exactly.
you know?
Absolutely. And yeah, and even those with so those in corporate America, I mean, they do have multiple jobs. My position as a software engineer, I was working 7 days a week. 6 in the morning, I'd be at the office and wouldn't get home till 10 o'clock at night. And this was day in and day out. I canceled vacations because projects weren't done and there were higher demands by upper management and get this project out and blah, 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 blah. And there was no work-life balance. And that's the problem with America today. There's no work-life balance because it's all about filling their pockets with, you know, um, basically filling their pockets. I don't have to go into detail about that. So, and that's the reality of it, and unfortunately, well, unfortunately, that is the reality. Fortunately, I woke up in 2015 and said, "There's got to be something different that I can do that is healthier for me." And rather than working another 5 to 7 years in corporate America, and then as I have come to find out, those that work to 65 or 70 in corporate America, within 2 years they drop dead anyways
Wow.
from the stress. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, yeah,
I mean that's like having, that's like having your car when you just, throw it into brake while you're driving, right? You're going
right.
60 miles an hour and you throw it in
Boom.
brake, boom, right? That's
Exactly.
exactly what's happening to people.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
And people really just need to take a minute just to breathe.
right.
That's it.
But they don't
And
know.
if you're,
They don't know how.
no, no,
They're
and if
not.
you're in
Well,
a
you know what?
situation, get out of that situation, that stressful
Yeah,
situation too. I mean,
right.
there are other ways,
Yes. Yes.
right? So, I know for me, when I would hear, oh, excuse me, hold on one sec. Oh, they're off to
Oh,
save lives, off to save lives. So, when I would hear blockchain and Bitcoin and all those things before, for me it was a bad word. Okay, I was
yeah.
scared, horrified, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are. what's something that you can share with them to kind of help them get that edge off so they can be a little more open minded to looking at something that we know is coming at a rapid rate so they're not left behind?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really good question. But let me just preface it with this, because I've been through this, and I've spoken. I think I've spoken to you about it. But between when I got started in 2021, 2022, up until 2024, there was a stigma out there that was being shared to the world about blockchain and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, that it was bad. All right, and people were instilled with fear.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's primarily the hesitation there. Plus, there were scams in the beginning. There's always scams in new industries, just like on the centralized versus the decentralized. However, that's getting better. And more recently, we now have an administration that supports blockchain technologies. And I do this because it's everything that's involved with blockchain technologies, because the technologies are changing. And I encourage people to think back decades ago when Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon released their technology. It was like, oh, wow, this is like, oh, I don't know. And it
Right.
was kind of scary. It was different. That's where we are today with blockchain technologies. And look at where those companies are today. They're industry giants. And they are now incorporating these blockchain technologies into their old technologies to help them move further ahead. So it's really about embracing the changes that are happening today. And it's one thing: education. Just start getting educated. I do have a free ebook for people to understand about blockchain, cryptocurrency, tokenization of real estate, just to get their feet wet. I direct people to different resources because number one, I'm primarily about education. I want people to be educated so then they're comfortable with potentially making a decision to purchase one of my products and services that I have to offer, for those individuals to start to look at new wealth strategies to diversify their portfolios. Because the sooner you do it, the better it is for you, because you will already be in the game and getting educated on a daily basis. So education is key. That is number one, because as you get educated, you still not still as you get educated, you become more comfortable with the verbiage, the technology. And you don't have to know the behind the scenes of blockchain technology. Just understand we're looking at a different financial system from a centralized www to a decentralized W3 plus, as it continues to evolve. So it's a different way of thinking. Yes, I will say in the beginning, it is a challenge to getting your wallet and getting on the exchange and connecting your bank with it, and buying cryptocurrency. That is a learning curve. However, I will say it has gotten a little bit easier, because they're developing new modules with this to make it a little bit more free flowing, if you will, with regards to accessing that technology, and taking advantage of it. So hopefully that made sense and didn't confuse
Absolutely.
people.
It made sense to me. I hope it didn't confuse people too, though. But so there's so many different companies out there, and I'm looking on the side here. I see, I see all the different ones that you're involved with. How did you select those specific ones out of all the ones that are out there? I
Yeah.
know
So
you had
that
to kind of educate yourself a little bit, but
yeah.
you know, what really got you with these to diversify yourself?
Well, I learned the hard way with my very first company being a scam, and I lost 125,000.
Ooh.
All right, and because I was green, I was brand new in 2021, and I didn't really know the ins and outs of what to look for.
Mhm.
And that was and I wasn't educated. Again, it comes in education.
Right.
Uh, but with that, I align myself with wealth coaches, with people who have been in the industry. When I look at companies, I look at who they are, what they are, and what kind of proof do they have that they're a good standing company,
Mhm.
and look at white papers, their websites, the owners, um, the directors, the executive staff of the company, if they're registered with certain regulatory um, agencies, so forth and so on. So those are some of the key points that really encouraged me to move forward,
Mhm.
having that understanding, but also going out there, and anything you do is a risk.
Right.
So it's becoming comfortable with that, moving forward, and taking that risk and understanding what's behind it. So um, and when a company hides stuff and there's no transparency, that is then that's not a good
It's a very good advice.
recommendation for me. I've learned how more on what questions to ask,
Mhm.
and although some of them are still in corporate, and those who are in the field are not privy to all of those details, but there is a couple that are 100% transparent, and we know where all the money is going, and
That's
that is a good thing, because it's about being part of that community, because we're investing in the ecosystem that is being built to really change the world for the betterment of humanity, and getting them involved, and becoming comfortable with this as they move forward during this paradigm shift. Because the next couple of years are going to be major, major changes from a financial perspective, especially the end of this year into 2026 with the bull run that's happening, and which is where a lot of people make a ton of money in even in the centralized market as well. Between centralized and decentralized, that's when things sell and things go up, and you buy low, you sell high, those
Mhm.
kinds of things.
Wow. Wow. Ooh, it's a lot, and
It
it
is
is.
a lot.
It's a lot to learn, and I encourage people get out there and, like Dr. Jeffrey said, just take little bite-sized chunks, every day, and when you turn around a year from now, you're going to be so much further in this, and
Yeah.
hopefully you'll have invested a little bit where you're starting to see some growth, and really, starting to create that foundation, because we know that sooner or later the money's it's not going to be here, right? It's
Right. And I do want to add one more thing to that, Tiffany, if I may. Uh, I strongly, strongly encourage people to go to their financial planners and
Mhm.
ask them, are you looking at different products and services in the decentralized or blockchain technologies? And if they say, no, I'm not interested, then I highly recommend that you go and look for a new individual, because I did that in 2017 with my financial planner, who had no interest in investigating that. And in 2021, when we pulled everything out of our 401ks, uh, he went ballistic and was like, why, the market will come back, Jeff, the market will come back. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to be 70 in a couple of years. I don't have time for the market to come back. You've been telling me this for years. So taking a low six figure and turning it into a high seven, soon to be 8 figure portfolio, that would have never have happened staying in the traditional 401ks. Now, granted, there are people that are doing very, very well, because there is a certain class that have access to those really high end wealth coaches and those financial planners, and they've got a lot of money to spend. But I'm talking the masses have a a financial planner that is following the rules or regulations of the United States SEC. And there is more outside of the SEC than there is inside at this particular point.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that, don't even have a financial advisor. So start interviewing.
Yeah. Yes.
Really start interviewing, and we can't do this by ourselves. I mean, I know for myself, look, fitness is my thing, not helping people build their finances. So I love my financial planner because she is all about the diversification and stuff, and she was excited to have the conversation. So
Awesome.
definitely get out there and find people that can help you to get on the other side of this. Because
Yeah.
it's coming. So,
Yeah, the world of finance is changing, and you look at BlackRock, J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, those types of banks. They're, even though they were criticizing years ago, they've been creating their own digital currency. They've been buying Bitcoin, and they've been doing this all behind the scenes, especially BlackRock, and who owns like 95% of the world industries out there, benefiting from it. But get out there and start getting educated. It is essential. I'm going to say it's essential now, especially since starting in 2022 and now 2025. It is essential to get that. And you look at the current administration, and if I'm repeating myself, I apologize, but they're bringing in trillions of dollars into the United States to become, first in the world on these types of technologies that are creating jobs for people. Yeah, AI is out there, but people have to program AI. They have to develop the apps that create AI. So yes, it will take some jobs away, but it will also create many jobs for people who are learning AI to develop those types of new applications and services that are coming down the pipeline.
And I know AI that's a whole nother show for
Oh,
AI.
oh my God, yes. It's
So,
not raining. It's not raining men. It's raining AI, or a combination of both.
so Dr. Jeffrey, is there any final thoughts or any words of encouragement that you want to give our viewers today before we close up? The time goes so quick when we get on
I
here.
know. So, I mean, the words of encouragement, again, is education. I think that, no, I'm going to say not think. My story personally is, I grew up as a baby boomer, and we were taught to go to school, get an education, and go find a job to be a robot. All right, and then retire happy, but no finances. And so I'm encouraging people to break out of that paradigm of being in a box and being comfortable. Get out of the box, get into your uncomfortable zone, because that's where, learning grows, and development really starts to happen, because you can't change unless there is some struggle there. And it's about getting out into your uncomfortable zone to really expand the horizon. And once you embrace that, and it sucked for me in the beginning because I hated it. I was always a corporate guy, and let me just go to work and get my little paycheck and do all that stuff. But towards the end, it didn't work. It wasn't working. So I took the bull by the horns and said, I have to do this, because who knows if I'd still be around today, But yeah, grab the bull by the horns and start getting educated, because I think you'd be very, very surprised at what you're going to find out there that you didn't realize that was being hidden from you. And you'll see, oh my gosh, they were saying this, but this is what's really happening out there. And that is my word of encouragement.
Yes, get in that uncomfortable zone, everybody, because really, that's where the magic happens, for sure.
Exactly.
So, even with working out, when you work out, if your body's not uncomfortable, if you're not feeling some pain in those muscles, you're not doing anything. So you got to get uncomfortable in any in any and all situations in life, you know,
Yeah,
to get yourself to the other side. So, Dr.
absolutely.
Jeffrey, I want to just thank you so very much for joining us today and
Thank you.
sharing, you know, your knowledge and wisdom on some of these, you know, financials, and just kind of starting to get, you know, diversification on a whole different level.
Right.
I'm so just, again, I love just taking center stage with you. I love having you in the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics family. I hope that we're going to be able to see you more. I know you are out there rocking it and you are traveling and all over the place, but we
Yeah.
definitely want to see you again very soon. So, everyone, thank
Super.
you so much for joining us
Thanks,
today on
everybody.
Financial Fitness Friday, and we'll definitely see you guys next time. Take care,
All
everybody.
right. Bye.